True freedom begins the moment you stop checking your phone for permission to live.
Hi, this is Dr. Julian Vance. I hope this will teach you something today. Dr. Julian Vance has been with you all the way. And always remember, keep learning, keep pushing forward. Who stops reading, stops growing.
Introduction.
We live in a world that never pauses, where screens light up our mornings and notifications dictate our days. Technology has given us incredible opportunities, but has also stolen something precious: our focus, our presence, and sometimes our peace. Digital detox is not about rejecting technology altogether, but about reclaiming control over it. This book will guide you on a journey to break free from constant digital noise, reconnect with the moments that truly matter, and create a life where technology serves you, rather than consumes you. It's time to step back, breathe, and rediscover the beauty of living fully in the present. Chapter 1: The Trap of Constant Connection. Right now, as you're reading this, your phone is probably within arm's reach. Maybe it just buzzed. Did you feel that tiny urge to check it? That split-second moment where your attention flickered away from these words? Welcome to the trap of constant connection. The invisible prison we built ourselves. Imagine if someone followed you around all day, tapping you on the shoulder every few minutes. They'd whisper about what your friends are doing, show you pictures of strangers' meals, and constantly ask if you want to buy something. You'd call that harassment. Yet we carry devices that do exactly this, and we call it staying connected. The average person checks their phone 96 times per day. That's once every 10 minutes during waking hours. But here's the kicker: most of us think we only check it half that much. We've become so used to this digital dance that we don't even notice we're doing it. Your smartphone isn't just a tool anymore. It's become an extension of your nervous system, a digital limb that you phantom feel even when it's not there. Ever felt your phone vibrate in your pocket when it wasn't even there? That's called phantom vibration syndrome, and it affects up to 89% of college students. The science of digital quicksand. Let's talk about what's really happening in your brain when you get trapped in the scroll. Every notification, every like, every new message triggers a tiny hit of dopamine, the same chemical involved in addiction to drugs, gambling, and other compulsive behaviors. But here's where it gets sneaky. Your brain doesn't release dopamine when you get the reward. It releases it in anticipation of the reward. That means the real addiction isn't to getting likes or messages, it's to checking for them. The uncertainty is what hooks you. Will there be something new? Something exciting? Something that makes you feel important? This is called a variable ratio reinforcement schedule, and it's the most powerful way to create addictive behavior. Casinos have known this secret for decades. Slot machines don't pay out on a predictable schedule because that would be boring. They pay out randomly, keeping you pulling that lever, hoping the next pull will be the big one. Your phone is a slot machine in your pocket, and every time you check it, you're pulling that lever. The attention merchants. The companies behind your favorite apps didn't stumble into this addictive design by accident. They hired teams of neuroscientists, behavioral economists, and former casino designers. Their job isn't to make you happy or productive. Their job is to capture and sell your attention. Think about it: when something is free, you're not the customer, you're the product. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube don't make money from subscription fees. They make money by selling your attention to advertisers. The longer they can keep you scrolling, the more ads they can show you, the more money they make. This creates what researchers call the attention economy, a system where your focus becomes a commodity to be harvested, packaged, and sold to the highest bidder. Sean Parker, the founding president of Facebook, admitted this openly. The thought process was, how do we consume as much of your time and conscious attention as possible? He called it a social validation feedback loop that exploits a vulnerability in human psychology: the hijacking of your brain's reward system. Your brain evolved over millions of years to help you survive in a world of scarcity. When our ancestors found something valuable, food, shelter, a potential mate, their brains released dopamine to make them pay attention and remember where to find it again. But the modern digital world doesn't play by evolution's rules. Instead of occasional, meaningful rewards, you get a constant drip of micro-rewards that keep your dopamine system in overdrive. It's like being fed a steady diet of cotton candy when your body needs protein and vegetables. This constant stimulation doesn't just waste your time, it actually rewires your brain. Studies using brain imaging show that heavy internet users develop changes in their prefrontal cortex, the area responsible for focus, decision-making, and impulse control. The changes look remarkably similar to those found in people addicted to drugs or alcohol. The myth of multitasking. One of the biggest lies the digital age sold us is that multitasking makes us more productive. The truth? Multitasking is a myth. Your brain doesn't actually do multiple things at once. It rapidly switches between tasks, and every switch has a cost. Researchers call this task switching penalty. Each time you shift your attention from one thing to another, it takes your brain time to refocus. Those seemingly innocent glances at your phone don't just steal the seconds you spend looking. They steal the minutes it takes to get back into deep focus. Dr. Sophie Leroy's research on attention residue shows that when you switch from task A to task B, part of your attention remains stuck on task A. The more intense the switching, the worse your performance becomes. This is why you can spend 8 hours at your computer and feel exhausted while accomplishing very little. The creativity killer. Here's something that might surprise you. Boredom is essential for creativity. Those moments when your mind has nothing to do, waiting in line, walking without music, sitting in silence, are when your brain's default mode network kicks in. This is when you make unexpected connections, solve problems that have been nagging you, and come up with your best ideas. But when did you last experience true boredom? When did you last have a moment with absolutely nothing to entertain your mind? If you're like most people, the answer is that you can't remember. We've become so afraid of boredom that we fill every empty moment with digital stimulation. Standing in an elevator, check your phone, waiting for coffee, scroll through social media, walking to your car, listen to a podcast. This constant input doesn't make us smarter or more creative. It makes us mentally constipated. Ideas need space to emerge, connections need silence to form, and creativity needs emptiness to fill. The social comparison trap. Social media promised to connect us, but it's created a new kind of loneliness. When you scroll through carefully curated highlights of other people's lives, your brain doesn't understand that you're seeing their best moments compared to your ordinary Tuesday afternoon. This creates what psychologists call compare and despair. Everyone else seems happier, more successful, more attractive, more adventurous. You start to feel like you're falling behind in a race you didn't know you were running. The research is clear. The more time people spend on social media, the more likely they are to report feeling lonely, anxious, and depressed. This is in correlation. Studies that randomly assign people to reduce their social media use show direct improvements in mental health within just 1 week. The sleep thief. Your phone doesn't just steal your waking hours, it's robbing your sleep too. The blue light emitted by screens suppresses melatonin, the hormone that tells your body it's time to sleep. But the problem goes deeper than light exposure. When you check your phone before bed, you're flooding your brain with information, problems to solve, and social situations to process. Your mind needs time to wind down, but instead, you're revving it up right before you expect it to shut off. Even worse, many people sleep with their phones next to their beds, creating anxiety about missing something important. Your phone becomes like a crying baby in the next room. Even if it's quiet, part of your brain stays alert, listening for the next sound. The focus recession. We're living through what some researchers call a focus recession. Attention spans are shrinking, deep thinking is becoming rare, and the ability to concentrate for extended periods is becoming a superpower. A study by Microsoft found that the average human attention span dropped from 12 seconds in 2000 to just 8 seconds today. That's shorter than a goldfish, which can focus for 9 seconds. But this isn't because our brains are broken, it's because they're responding rationally to an environment designed to fracture attention. When you train your brain to expect constant stimulation, it becomes uncomfortable with sustained focus. Reading a book feels boring, having a conversation without checking your phone feels impossible, and sitting with your own thoughts feels unbearable. The emotional numbness. Perhaps the most insidious effect of constant connection is emotional numbness. When you're always half distracted, you never fully experience anything. Joy becomes muted, sadness gets interrupted, anger gets channeled into online arguments with strangers, and love gets reduced to heart emojis. This partial attention to life creates a sense of going through the motions without really living. Days blur together because you weren't fully present for any of them. Years pass without memorable moments because your attention was always divided. The way forward. If this chapter has felt like a catalog of doom, don't despair. Recognizing the trap is the first step to escaping it. The fact that you're reading these words means you've already begun the most important journey of the digital age, the journey back to intentional living. Your attention is not broken beyond repair. Your ability to focus is not permanently damaged. Your capacity for deep thought, creativity, and genuine connection is still there, waiting to be reclaimed. The technology companies spent billions of dollars and hired the world's smartest minds to capture your attention. But you have something more powerful than their algorithms: awareness. Once you see the trap clearly, you can begin to step out of it. In the chapters that follow, we'll explore exactly how to do that. You'll learn practical strategies for reclaiming your focus, rebuilding your attention span, and creating a healthier relationship with technology. You'll discover how to use digital tools without being used by them. But first, take a moment right now. Put down your phone. Turn off your notifications. Take 3 deep breaths and notice what it feels like to be fully present in this moment, reading these words, thinking these thoughts. This is what you're fighting for, not just freedom from distraction, but freedom to live fully in your own life. The trap of constant connection is real, but it's not permanent. Your attention is not lost forever. It's just been borrowed. Now it's time to ask for it back. Chapter 2: Reclaiming Your Attention. Your mind is not a billboard. Stop letting everyone else rent space in it. Right now, as you read these words, something incredible is happening. Your brain is filtering through thousands of pieces of information, deciding what deserves your attention. But here's the problem. In our digital world, that decision isn't really yours anymore. Think about this morning. How many times did you check your phone before you even got out of bed? If you're like most people, the answer is somewhere between 3 and 50 times. Your attention, the most valuable resource you own, is being hijacked before you've even had your first cup of coffee. But what if I told you that reclaiming your attention isn't just possible? It's the key to unlocking a version of yourself you forgot existed. The attention economy trap. Every app on your phone was designed by teams of brilliant engineers and psychologists with one goal: to capture and keep your attention. They call it the attention economy, and you're not the customer, you're the product being sold. These platforms use something called intermittent variable rewards. It's the same psychological principle that makes gambling so addictive. You never know when you'll get that next like, comment, or notification, so your brain keeps checking, hoping for that little hit of dopamine. Your smartphone has become like a slot machine in your pocket, and every notification is someone else pulling the lever on your attention. But here's what they don't want you to know. Once you understand how this system works, you can beat it at its own game. The true cost of scattered attention. When your attention is constantly divided, you're not just missing moments, you're rewiring your brain. Scientists have discovered that our brains are incredibly plastic, meaning they physically change based on how we use them. Every time you switch between your work and a notification, your brain has to completely reorient itself. This process, called attention residue, means part of your mind stays stuck on the previous task. It's like trying to write a love letter while someone keeps tapping you on the shoulder. Studies show it takes an average of 23 minutes to fully refocus after an interruption. If you're getting interrupted every few minutes, you're never actually focused on anything. This scattered attention isn't just hurting your productivity, it's stealing your ability to think deeply, to be creative, to connect meaningfully with others, and to find satisfaction in simple moments. Strategy 1: Create sacred spaces. The first step in reclaiming your attention is creating what I call sacred spaces, physical and mental areas that are completely free from digital intrusion. Start with your bedroom. Your bed should be a sanctuary for rest, intimacy, and dreams, not a command center for managing your digital life. Remove all screens from your bedroom. Yes, including your phone. But I need my phone as an alarm clock. I hear you saying, buy a $10 alarm clock. Your sleep and your relationship are worth more than the convenience of using your phone. Next, create a sacred space in your living area. Maybe it's a reading corner, a meditation spot, or just a dinner table. Make it a rule: when you're in this space, no devices allowed. Watch how this simple boundary transforms your relationship with that area. Your car is another powerful sacred space. Instead of automatically connecting your phone to Bluetooth, try driving in silence sometimes. Let your mind wander. Some of your best ideas will come during these quiet drives. Strategy 2. The digital sunset ritual. Here's a game-changing habit that thousands of people have used to transform their evenings. The digital sunset. Choose a time each evening, maybe 8 p.m. or 9 p.m., when all screens go dark. Just like the sun sets each day, let your digital world have its own sunset. This isn't about becoming a monk or rejecting technology. It's about creating a clear boundary between your day and your evening, between productivity and restoration. During your digital sunset hours, rediscover activities that don't require a screen. Read a physical book. Have actual conversations. Take a bath. Write in a journal. Do gentle stretches. Practice gratitude. The first few nights will feel strange, maybe even boring. That's normal. Your brain has been so overstimulated that normal human activities might seem dull at first. Push through this feeling. It's temporary. After a week of digital sunsets, you'll notice something amazing. Your sleep improves, your relationships deepen, and you'll start having ideas and insights that surprise you. Strategy 3. Master the art of monotasking. Multitasking is a myth. What we call multitasking is actually task switching, and it's making us stupid. Every time you try to do multiple things at once, you're training your brain to be distracted. You're literally teaching yourself to have a shorter attention span. The antidote is monotasking, doing one thing at a time with your full attention. Start small. When you eat breakfast, just eat breakfast. Don't scroll through news or check emails. Taste your food. Notice the textures and flavors. This simple practice will start retraining your brain to focus. When you're having a conversation with someone, put your phone face down and give them your complete attention. Watch how this changes the quality of your interactions. At work, try the one-tab rule. Keep only one browser tab open at a time. Close unnecessary applications. Your productivity will skyrocket. Strategy 4. The notification detox. Notifications are attention thieves. Every ping, buzz, and banner is someone else deciding what you should think about right now. Go through every app on your phone and turn off all non-essential notifications. Keep only the truly important ones, maybe calls and text messages from family and close friends. Here's a radical idea: turn off email notifications entirely. Email is not an emergency communication system. If something is truly urgent, people will call you. For social media apps, turn off all notifications. These platforms are designed to create FOMO, fear of missing out. But here's the truth: you're not missing anything important. The world will keep spinning without you knowing immediately about every post, like, and comment. Strategy 5. Design your digital environment. Your phone's home screen is like the front door to your attention. What message is it sending? Remove social media apps from your home screen entirely. If you want to check them, make yourself go through the extra steps of opening a folder or searching for the app. This small friction can dramatically reduce mindless scrolling. Organize your home screen with intention. Put useful tools in easy reach, things like your camera, maps, or notes app. Bury the time-wasting apps several clicks away. Consider using grayscale mode on your phone. Colors are specifically chosen to grab your attention and trigger dopamine responses. Removing color makes your phone less appealing and more like the tool it should be. Strategy 6. The power of boredom. When was the last time you were truly bored? Not frustrated or impatient, but genuinely bored with nothing specific to do? If you can't remember, you're missing out on one of the most important mental states for creativity and well-being. Boredom is not the enemy. It's the space where innovation happens. It's when your mind makes unexpected connections. It's when you process experiences and emotions. It's when you remember who you are beneath all the digital noise. Stop filling every quiet moment with screen time. When you're waiting in line, don't immediately reach for your phone. When you're walking somewhere, don't put in earbuds. Let your mind have some space to breathe. The ideas that come during these quiet moments will amaze you. Strategy 7. Create friction for bad habits. The easier it is to do something, the more likely you are to do it. Tech companies know this and make their apps as frictionless as possible. You can use this principle in reverse. Create friction for habits you want to reduce. Log out of social media accounts after each use. Having to enter your password each time creates just enough friction to make you pause and ask, "Do I really want to do this right now?" Delete apps from your phone and only access them through a web browser. The extra steps required often prevent mindless usage. Use app timers and restrictions, but be strategic about it. Don't just set a time limit. Set it for slightly less than you think you need. This creates awareness without feeling restrictive. Strategy 8. The attention recovery process. If you've been living in a state of constant digital distraction, your attention span needs time to recover. Think of it like physical therapy for your mind. Start with short periods of focused attention and gradually increase them. Maybe begin with just 5 minutes of reading without checking your phone. When that feels easy, increase to 10 minutes, then 20. Practice what I call attention anchoring. Choose a simple, repetitive task like washing dishes, folding laundry, or walking, and do it with complete focus. When your mind wanders to digital concerns, gently bring it back to the task at hand. This isn't about perfection. Your mind will wander. That's normal. The practice is in noticing when it happens and gently returning your attention to the present moment. Strategy 9. Build real-world rewards. Digital platforms are so addictive partly because they provide constant small rewards. To break free, you need to create meaningful rewards in the real world. Celebrate small victories in your digital detox journey. When you successfully have a phone-free dinner, acknowledge that achievement. When you read for an hour without distraction, give yourself credit. Invest time in activities that provide natural, healthy rewards. Learn a musical instrument, start a garden, cook elaborate meals, work out, create art. These activities provide the satisfaction and accomplishment that scrolling never can. Build deeper connections with people. Real human relationships provide rewards that no app can match. The satisfaction of meaningful conversation, shared laughter, mutual support, and genuine intimacy. The compound effect of reclaimed attention. Here's what most people don't realize about reclaiming their attention. The benefits compound over time. In the first week, you might just feel less scattered. By the first month, you'll notice improved sleep and better relationships. After 3 months, people often report feeling more creative, more confident, and more connected to their authentic selves. Your ability to focus deeply will return gradually. Your anxiety levels will decrease. You'll start noticing small beauties in everyday life that you've been missing. You'll have better conversations, come up with more creative solutions to problems, and feel more satisfied with your daily experiences. Think of attention as a muscle. Every time you choose to focus on one thing, you're making that muscle stronger. Every time you resist the urge to check your phone, you're building mental discipline that serves you in every area of life, making it sustainable. The goal isn't to become a digital hermit or to reject all technology. The goal is to use technology intentionally instead of letting it use you. Start with just 1 or 2 strategies that resonate with you most. Master those before adding more. Sustainable change happens gradually, not through dramatic overnight transformations. Be patient with yourself. You're not just changing habits, you're literally rewiring your brain. This takes time, and there will be setbacks. What matters is getting back on track, not achieving perfection. Remember why you're doing this. You're not just reducing screen time, you're reclaiming your life. You're choosing to live intentionally instead of reactively. You're deciding that your attention, your most precious resource, belongs to you. Your attention revolution. Every moment you spend mindlessly scrolling is a moment you're not spending on something meaningful. Every notification you allow to interrupt you is a piece of your peace you're giving away. But every moment you choose to focus deeply, every boundary you set, every time you resist the ping of a notification, you're joining a quiet revolution. You're refusing to let your attention be sold to the highest bidder. Your focused attention is a superpower in a distracted world. While everyone else is scattered and reactive, you'll be calm and intentional. While others are drowning in information, you'll be swimming in wisdom. The path back to reclaimed attention starts with a single choice. The choice to value your mental space more than the temporary entertainment of another scroll, another notification, another digital distraction. Your attention is waiting to be reclaimed. Your focused, creative, peaceful mind is still there beneath all the digital noise. It's time to clear away the static and remember what it feels like to truly think, to deeply connect, and to be fully present in your own life. The revolution begins now. Not with grand gestures or perfect execution, but with the simple, radical act of paying attention to what deserves your attention. Your mind is not a billboard. It's time to stop letting everyone else rent space in it. Chapter 3. Reconnecting with the real world. Remember the last time you felt truly alive? Not just existing, not just scrolling through another endless feed, but genuinely, completely alive. If you're struggling to remember, you're not alone. Millions of people have forgotten what it feels like to be fully present in their own lives. But here's the thing that might surprise you. That feeling is waiting for you right outside your screen. The magic that's been hidden from you. When was the last time you noticed the way sunlight dances through leaves? When did you last have a conversation so good that you lost track of time? These aren't luxury experiences reserved for vacation days. They're your birthright as a human being, and they're available to you every single day. The real world isn't just what happens when your phone dies. It's a rich, textured, multi-sensory experience that makes even the most advanced virtual reality look like a cheap imitation. Every breath of fresh air, every genuine laugh with a friend, every moment of quiet reflection is a small rebellion against a digital world that wants to keep you trapped in a two-dimensional existence. Think about this. You've been carrying a portal to infinite distraction in your pocket, but you've also been walking through an infinite world of real experiences. The question is, which one are you choosing to explore? Why your brain is desperate for the real world. Here's something the tech companies don't want you to know. Your brain is literally starving for real-world experiences. Scientists have discovered that our minds need what they call soft fascination, the gentle engagement that comes from watching clouds drift by, listening to birds sing, or watching flames dance in a fireplace. Your digital devices provide hard fascination, the aggressive, attention-grabbing stimulation that exhausts your mental resources. It's like the difference between a gentle massage and someone constantly poking you. One restores you, the other drains you. When you step away from screens and into the real world, something magical happens. Your attention restores itself. Your creativity blooms. Your stress melts away. This isn't wishful thinking, it's neuroscience. But the benefits go even deeper than that. Real-world experiences create what psychologists call embodied memories, rich, multi-sensory recollections that digital experiences simply cannot match. Think about your most treasured memories. Are they from a screen, or are they from real moments with real people in real places? The art of deep conversation. Let's talk about something that's becoming as rare as handwritten letters. Deep, meaningful conversation. Not the surface-level chatter that happens while everyone's half listening and half checking their phones, but the kind of conversation that changes you. You know the type. The conversations where time seems to stop. Where you discover something new about someone you've known for years. Where ideas spark and build on each other until you're both thinking thoughts neither of you could have reached alone. These conversations are still happening, but they're becoming an endangered species. Every notification that buzzes in the middle of a sentence, every glance at a screen during a heart-to-heart talk chips away at our ability to truly connect. But here's the incredible thing. When you put the devices away and give someone your full attention, you give them one of the rarest gifts in the modern world. You're saying, you matter more than anything else happening right now. And the magic that flows from that simple act is extraordinary. Deep conversations don't require perfect settings or special skills. They require presence. They require the radical act of being fully where you are, with who you're with, doing what you're doing. Nothing more, nothing less. The meditation of mindful walking. Walking is the most underrated form of therapy on the planet. Not power walking while listening to podcasts or checking messages. Not walking while planning your day or rehearsing arguments. Just walking. One foot in front of the other, paying attention to what's actually happening around you. When you walk mindfully, every step becomes a small meditation. You start to notice things you've been too busy to see. The architecture of the buildings you pass every day. The changing seasons reflected in the trees. The expressions on people's faces. The rhythm of your own breathing. There's something primal and healing about the simple act of moving your body through space without any agenda other than being present. Our ancestors walked to survive, to explore, to think. We've forgotten that walking isn't just transportation, it's transformation. Some of history's greatest thinkers did their best work while walking. Aristotle taught while strolling. Einstein worked out his theories on long walks. Virginia Woolf said her best ideas came during her daily walks through London. Your phone can't give you this. No app can replicate the complex interplay of physical movement, fresh air, changing scenery, and unstructured thinking time that happens during a mindful walk. This is exclusively an analog experience, and it's one of the most powerful tools you have for mental clarity and emotional well-being. Rediscovering the joy of hobbies. Do you remember what you loved to do before you had a computer in your pocket? Maybe you played an instrument, painted, gardened, cooked elaborate meals, built things with your hands, or lost yourself in books for hours at a time. What happened to those parts of you? They're still there, waiting patiently beneath the layers of digital distraction. And they're more important now than ever because hobbies provide something that scrolling never can: a sense of progress, mastery, and genuine accomplishment. When you learn to play a new song on guitar, you've created something. When you finish knitting a scarf, you've made something with your own hands that didn't exist before. When you successfully grow tomatoes in your garden, you've participated in the miracle of life itself. These activities engage different parts of your brain than screen time does. They require patience, practice, and presence. They connect you to traditions that stretch back thousands of years. They remind you that you're not just a consumer of content. You're a creator, a maker, a person with unique abilities and interests. The beautiful thing about rediscovering hobbies is that you don't have to be good at them immediately. In fact, being a beginner again is one of the most refreshing experiences you can have. It reminds you that learning is joyful, that progress doesn't always have to be measured in metrics, and that some of life's greatest pleasures come from doing things for no other reason than the pure joy of doing them. The mental clarity that comes from being present. Here's what nobody tells you about digital detox. The mental clarity that comes from unplugging isn't just nice to have, it's absolutely life-changing. When you stop fragmenting your attention across multiple screens and start focusing on one thing at a time, your mind becomes a different instrument entirely. Imagine your mind as a muddy pond. Every notification, every quick check of social media, every multitasking moment stirs up the mud. The water becomes cloudy, murky, impossible to see through. But when you step away from the digital chaos and give your mind time to settle, something remarkable happens. The mud settles to the bottom. The water becomes clear. You can see all the way to the depths. This mental clarity isn't just about being able to concentrate better, though that's certainly part of it. It's about rediscovering your own thoughts. When you're constantly consuming other people's ideas, opinions, and content, your own inner voice gets drowned out. You start to lose touch with what you actually think and feel about things. But in the quiet spaces between digital inputs, your authentic self starts to emerge again. You remember what you actually care about, not what the algorithm thinks you should care about. You start to have original thoughts again. You begin to trust your own judgment more than the collective opinion of strangers on the internet. This isn't about becoming anti-technology or anti-progress. It's about reclaiming your mental sovereignty. It's about remembering that your attention is your most valuable resource, and you get to choose where to invest it. Creating sacred spaces in your life. One of the most powerful things you can do is create physical spaces in your life that are completely free from digital devices. These become your sanctuaries, your havens, your places of peace in an increasingly chaotic world. Maybe it's your bedroom, transformed into a place purely for rest and reflection. Maybe it's a corner of your living room with a comfortable chair, good lighting, and a small collection of books. Maybe it's your dining room table, where meals become occasions for connection rather than opportunities for mindless scrolling. These spaces don't have to be large or expensive. They just have to be intentional. They're physical reminders that there are parts of your life that exist independent of your devices. They're invitations to be present, to slow down, to remember what it feels like to just be. When you consistently honor these sacred spaces, something beautiful happens. They begin to change you. Just entering them signals to your nervous system that it's time to shift gears, to breathe more deeply, to reconnect with yourself and the people you love. The ripple effect of your offline choices. Here's something that might motivate you even more. When you choose to live more of your life offline, you give other people permission to do the same. Your presence becomes a gift not just to yourself, but to everyone around you. When you put your phone away during dinner, you create space for real conversation. When you suggest a walk instead of binge-watching another series, you invite movement and fresh air into someone else's day. When you listen without the urge to immediately respond or check something, You model what deep attention looks like. Children especially are watching and learning from your choices. When they see adults who can sit quietly without reaching for a device, who can have conversations without interruptions, who can enjoy simple pleasures without documenting them, they learn that this is possible. They internalize the message that they are worthy of undivided attention. You become a lighthouse in a sea of digital distraction, showing others that there's another way to live, starting your real-world adventure. The journey back to the real world doesn't require a dramatic gesture or a complete lifestyle overhaul. It starts with small, intentional choices. It starts with noticing. Tomorrow morning, before you reach for your phone, take 5 minutes to notice how you feel. Notice the quality of light in your room. Notice the sound around you. Notice your breathing. This isn't meditation. It's just being awake to your actual experience. At some point during the day, have one conversation where you give someone your complete attention. Put your phone in another room if you have to. Look at their face. Listen to their words. Notice how different it feels to be fully present with another human being. Take one walk without any devices. No music, no podcast, no urgent calls to make. Just walk and notice what you notice. Let your mind wander where it wants to go. Choose one activity that requires your hands and your full attention. Cook something from scratch. Write a letter by hand. Tend to a plant. Build something. Create something. Make something that didn't exist before you decided to make it. These aren't grand gestures. They're tiny acts of rebellion against a culture that wants to keep you perpetually distracted. But they're also acts of self-love, acts of presence, acts of choosing life over the simulation of life. Your real life is waiting. The most important thing to remember is this: your real life isn't on hold while you figure out how to manage your relationship with technology. Your real life is happening right now, in this moment, as you read these words. Every moment you spend fully present is a moment you'll never regret. Every deep conversation, every mindful walk, every creative endeavor, every quiet moment of reflection is an investment in the person you're becoming. The digital world will always be there, with its endless stream of updates, notifications, and distractions. But your life, your real, embodied, irreplaceable life, is happening right now. And it deserves your full attention. The real world isn't just an alternative to the digital world. It's the world where your actual life is taking place. It's where your relationships deepen, where your creativity flourishes, where your peace of mind resides, and where your truest self gets to emerge. That world is waiting for you. It has been waiting patiently while you've been looking elsewhere. And the moment you decide to look up from your screens and look around at what's actually here, you'll wonder how you stayed away so long. Your real-world adventure starts now. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when you finally get your digital life perfectly organized. Right now, in this moment, with whatever is actually happening around you. Welcome back to your life. It's good to have you here. Chapter 4: Building a Sustainable Digital Life. What if I told you that the most successful people in tech actually use their devices less than the average person? Steve Jobs didn't let his kids use iPads. The creators of social media limit their own screen time. They know something we're just beginning to understand. Technology should serve us, not control us. You've probably tried going cold turkey before. Maybe you deleted all your apps for a weekend, only to reinstall them by Monday morning. Or perhaps you've thrown your phone in a drawer, feeling anxious and disconnected. Here's the truth nobody talks about. Extreme digital detoxes don't work because they're not sustainable. The real secret isn't cutting technology out of your life completely. It's about creating a relationship with it that actually makes your life better. Think of it like learning to drive. You don't avoid cars forever because they can be dangerous. You learn the rules, practice good habits, and use them to get where you want to go. The myth of the perfect digital life. Let me start by destroying a dangerous myth. There's no such thing as a perfect digital balance. Social media will show you people who claim they've mastered their relationship with technology. They'll post aesthetic photos of their phones face down next to a book and a cup of coffee. But here's what they won't tell you. They probably took 17 photos to get that perfect shot and spent an hour crafting the caption. The real goal isn't perfection. It's progress. It's about making small, consistent changes that add up to a life where technology enhances your experiences instead of replacing them. Your smartphone isn't evil. Social media isn't the devil. These tools have connected families across continents, launched businesses, and given voices to people who never had them before. The problem isn't the technology itself. The problem is how we've been using it without thinking. Understanding your digital personality. Before you can build a sustainable digital life, you need to understand your unique relationship with technology. Are you a digital maximizer who wants to use every app and feature available? Or are you a digital minimalist who prefers simple, streamlined experiences? Maybe you're a social connector who genuinely enjoys staying in touch with hundreds of people online. Or perhaps you're a focused creator who needs long periods of uninterrupted time to do your best work. There's no right or wrong type, but knowing your style helps you make better choices. Take a moment to think about when technology feels good in your life. When does it feel natural and helpful? Maybe it's using GPS to navigate somewhere new, or video calling a friend who lives far away, or listening to a podcast that teaches you something fascinating. These are clues to how technology can serve you well. Now think about when technology feels heavy or draining. Perhaps it's scrolling through news that makes you anxious, or getting sucked into comparison on social media, or feeling pressured to respond to messages immediately. These patterns show you where changes might help. The 3 pillars of intentional technology use. Building a sustainable digital life rests on 3 simple pillars: awareness, intention, and flexibility. Let's break these down because they're going to change everything about how you interact with your devices. Awareness means paying attention to how technology actually affects you, not how you think it should affect you. Most people have no idea how much time they really spend on their phones or how different apps make them feel. Start noticing without judging. When you pick up your phone, pause for just a second and ask yourself why. When you put it down, notice how you feel. Are you energized, informed, or inspired? Or do you feel drained, anxious, or empty? Intention means having a reason for using technology, not just using it because it's there. This doesn't mean every moment needs to be productive. Sometimes your intention might be to relax, connect with friends, or just have fun. The key is choosing consciously instead of sliding into autopilot. Flexibility might be the most important pillar because life is unpredictable. Your needs change based on what's happening in your life, your work, your relationships, and your personal growth. A sustainable approach adapts with you instead of fighting against change. Creating your personal tech values. Here's something most digital wellness advice gets wrong. It tries to give everyone the same rules. But you're not everyone. You have unique goals, challenges, and circumstances that require a personalized approach. Start by identifying what you actually want technology to do for you. Do you want it to help you learn new skills? Stay connected with people you care about? Be more creative? Organize your life? Get work done efficiently? There are no wrong answers, only honest ones. Write down 3 to 5 things you want technology to help you accomplish. These become your tech values, your North Star for making decisions about what apps to keep, what notifications to allow, and how to spend your digital time. For example, if one of your values is staying connected with family, you might choose to keep messaging apps but turn off notifications from news apps. If creativity is important to you, you might keep photo editing apps but delete games that don't spark joy. Your values act as a filter for everything else. When you're deciding whether to download a new app, ask yourself, does this support one of my tech values? When you're setting up notifications, ask, will this help me accomplish what matters to me? The art of digital boundaries. Boundaries aren't walls that keep you trapped. They're guidelines that keep you free. Just like you wouldn't let strangers walk into your house whenever they wanted, you don't have to let every app interrupt your day whenever it wants your attention. The most powerful boundary you can set is time boundaries. This doesn't mean rigid schedules that make you feel controlled. It means creating rhythms that feel natural and sustainable. Consider creating phone-free zones in your life. Maybe it's the first hour after you wake up, when you can start your day with intention instead of immediately reacting to other people's priorities. Maybe it's during meals, when you can actually taste your food and connect with people around you. Maybe it's the hour before bed, when you can wind down naturally instead of stimulating your brain with blue light and endless information. Physical boundaries matter too. Where you keep your phone affects how you use it. If it's always within arm's reach, you'll reach for it more often. If it's in another room, you'll use it more intentionally. This isn't about making your phone hard to access when you need it. It's about removing the automatic, unconscious reaches that add up to hours of mindless use. Designing your digital environment. Your digital environment shapes your behavior just like your physical environment does. If your home is cluttered, you feel scattered. If it's organized and peaceful, you feel calm. The same principle applies to your devices. Start with your phone's home screen. What do you see when you unlock it? Is it a chaotic collection of colorful app icons begging for your attention? Or is it a calm, intentional space that supports your goals? Consider putting your most distracting apps in folders or on secondary screens, so you have to make a conscious choice to access them. Put your most valuable apps front and center. If you want to read more, put your reading app where you usually keep social media. If you want to meditate daily, put your meditation app in the most prominent spot. Notifications deserve special attention because they're designed to interrupt you. Every notification is someone else deciding that their priority should become your priority right now. You get to choose which interruptions are worth it. Turn off notifications for everything that isn't truly urgent or important. Your email doesn't need to interrupt your conversation with a friend. Social media likes don't need to pull your attention away from work. News updates don't need to create anxiety throughout your day. Keep notifications only for things that genuinely improve your life, messages from close family, reminders for important appointments, or alerts that help you accomplish your goals. Building positive digital habits. The best digital habits don't feel like restrictions. They feel like upgrades to your life. Instead of focusing on what you can't do, focus on what you want to do more of. If you want to read more, try replacing just 5 minutes of social media scrolling with reading. Don't try to read for an hour if that feels overwhelming. 5 minutes is enough to build the habit, and habits grow naturally when they're enjoyable. If you want to be more present with people, try the simple practice of putting your phone face down when someone is talking to you. You don't have to put it in another room or turn it off. Just that small gesture signals to your brain and there's that the conversation matters more than whatever might be happening on the screen. If you want to sleep better, try charging your phone outside your bedroom. Use an actual alarm clock instead of your phone. This one change eliminates the temptation to check messages when you should be winding down or when you first wake up. Create positive replacement habits instead of just trying to eliminate negative ones. When you feel the urge to check your phone mindlessly, have something else ready to do. Maybe it's taking 3 deep breaths, looking out the window, or asking yourself what you're really looking for. The power of regular digital check-ins. Just like you might clean your house regularly, your digital life needs occasional attention too. Set aside time once a month to review how technology is working in your life. Ask yourself some simple questions. Which apps am I using most? Do they align with my values? How do I feel after using different apps or websites? What digital habits are serving me well? What patterns do I want to change? Delete apps you haven't used in the past month. Unsubscribe from email lists that no longer interest you. Clean up your photo gallery. Organize your files. These small acts of digital maintenance prevent overwhelm from building up. During these check-ins, celebrate what's working. If you've been more present during family dinners, acknowledge that success. If you've been sleeping better since changing your nighttime phone habits, recognize that improvement. Positive changes deserve recognition. Navigating social pressure and FOMO. One of the biggest challenges in building a sustainable digital life is dealing with other people's expectations and your own fear of missing out. You might worry that you'll miss important news if you don't check social media constantly. You might feel pressure to respond to messages immediately. You might fear that you'll be left out of conversations or events. Here's a perspective shift that helps. You're not missing out when you're fully engaged in your actual life. You're missing out when you're constantly distracted by the possibility of something better happening somewhere else. Most of what feels urgent online isn't actually urgent. The news will still be there in a few hours. Social media conversations will continue without your immediate input. People who care about you will understand if you don't respond to messages instantly. Start small with managing these pressures. Maybe you check news once a day instead of constantly. Maybe you respond to non-urgent messages in batches instead of as they arrive. Maybe you tell friends and family about your digital boundaries so they understand your communication style. Technology as a tool for growth. The ultimate goal isn't to use technology less. It's to use it better. Technology can be an incredible tool for learning, creating, connecting, and growing. The key is being intentional about how you engage with it. Use technology to support your goals and interests. If you want to learn a new language, use apps that make practice convenient and fun. If you want to stay in shape, use apps that help you track progress and stay motivated. If you want to be more creative, use tools that make it easy to capture and develop your ideas. Follow accounts and consume content that inspires you, teaches you something valuable, or brings joy to your day. Unfollow accounts that consistently make you feel bad about yourself, anxious about the world, or pressured to buy things you don't need. Use technology to deepen real-world relationships instead of replacing them. Video call friends and family who live far away. Share photos that capture genuine moments instead of perfect poses. Use messaging to coordinate in-person gatherings and activities. Creating your sustainable digital future. Building a sustainable digital life isn't about finding the perfect balance once and maintaining it forever. It's about developing the skills and awareness to continually adjust your relationship with technology as your life changes. Some seasons of life might require more digital connection. Maybe you're working on a project that needs constant communication, or you're going through a difficult time and online communities provide support. Other seasons might call for more digital quiet when you need space to think, create, or simply be present. The goal is to remain conscious and intentional about these choices instead of letting them happen automatically. Technology should adapt to your life, not the other way around. As you move forward, remember that small changes compound over time. You don't need to overhaul your entire digital life overnight. Pick one area to focus on first. Maybe it's morning routines or notification management, or creating phone-free zones. Master that change until it feels natural, then add another. Your relationship with technology is one of the most important relationships in your modern life. Like any relationship, it requires attention, intention, and ongoing care. But when you get it right, technology becomes a powerful ally in creating the life you actually want to live. The future isn't about choosing between technology and real life. It's about using technology to enhance real life, to connect more deeply with what matters to you, and to become more fully yourself. That future starts with your next conscious choice about how you engage with a glowing screen in your hand. You have more power over your digital experience than you realize. Every time you pick up your phone, you get to choose how this interaction will serve you. Every app you keep or delete is a vote for the kind of digital life you want. Every boundary you set is an act of self-respect and intentional living. Your sustainable digital life is waiting for you to create it. It won't look like anyone else's because it's uniquely yours. And it starts now with whatever small step feels right for you today.